Yo, what's good, family? What it do? What's good? TSF Entertainment Podcast. We are back with another episode of Raising Kanan, Sleeping Dogs. This is episode 2, and I am with the fam, Retro CG, Really BTV, and we have a special guest and family member, Mr. Fresh Your Highness.
Welcome in, Fresh Your Highness. What's up, brother?
What up? What up?
How you doing?
Chilling, man. Just grinding.
Grinding. Miss Really BTV in the house. What's going on with you?
Nothing, chilling. I'm here.
Say I'm here.
Mr. Juggernaut of Souls. Had a good week?
Yeah, for the most part, it's been all good.
Good. All right, so we're here to talk about episode 203, Raising Kanan, Sleeping Dogs. First thoughts. What did you think about the episode?
Man, all I'm gonna say is from the conversations that we had in the chat, man, like instantly, it just right into it.
Yeah,
right into it.
Stargate.
Like everything that we were talking about
at the Stargate.
Right into it, right out the start.
Yeah. I thought it was a great episode. Like it was really like there was no even the stuff that I think people feel like might not be important, I think is important. I said in my review, every little and when we get to it, I'll say it, but it was really good. It really, really was good.
I thought it was a good episode as well. Actually, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. A lot of development, and like you said, a lot of the things that we feel like or think might not be important to the story are very important to the story, and we got some insight on how things are going to further develop. One thing I appreciate about this particular episode is it's showing us more and more and more that you can't believe nothing that come out of Rock mouth.
Not a damn thing.
I mean, she can say it's raining outside. I can look out the window and see that it's raining, and I still think that she's lying. Like she lied about everything.
Yep. I told y'all that like the whole thing with Rocks. I mean with Jukebox mother. I don't believe none of that story. I think when we get to the bottom of it, it was all on Rock. I'm telling you.
She's the root cause.
I'm gonna say when we get to that point, I'm definitely gonna say that anything that was mentioned about Juke's mom, I ain't seeing. I'm not seeing.
Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about it. All right, so the episode starts off. We're at the bodega. What's up, Bravo? Thanks for joining. So the episode starts off. We're at the bodega. We're at Julia's bodega, and she's watching TV, and there's some little kids in the back trying to look at a Penthouse magazine.
That was you. That was you and Juggernaut. That was you and Juggernaut. Trying to steal the Penthouse.
Book.
So you run their ass up out of there real quick. Get away from out of here. And we see a customer approach the counter with a Tahitian treat. Y'all remember those drinks?
No.
Those joints was nasty.
Tahitian treats were great. I still drink them every blue moon.
Tahitian treat was like a sugar sludge. It was,
but them joints was still great. Them joints was better than Hawaiian punches.
Nah, you crazy.
I don't like Hawaiian punch. Ugh.
Back then, I would rather have a Hawaiian punch.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to drink anything,
I don't want neither.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't drink pop, so whatever.
So we see a customer approach the counter. They're purchasing a Tahitian treat, and she tells him how much it costs or whatever, and he throws the money up on the counter, and next thing you know, he got the glizzy in her face. No, you.
I knew it was him. I knew exactly who it was.
I told y'all that. Last week. I said, your Nico, go up in there and see what's going on at this bodega.
He sure did.
Yeah, and I said the same thing. I said the same thing because, like you said, his girl saw her come from out the back, like she wasn't in there shopping.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we know right then and there what Unique came there for. But initially, I thought he was just going to stick her up. Even though I had said last week, I felt like he was going to do something to her. But, I was kind of like, 50-50. I wasn't sure if he was going to like hurt her or if he was just going to stick the place up, which he ended up doing both. He kidnapped her and took all the money, whatever the case may be. Then we flash to Kanan and Famous. Kanan's coming out. I guess he's getting ready to go meet up with Famous. And Detective Howard approaches him. And he was like, yo, hop in the whip. I need to talk to you for a minute. And Kanan reluctantly gets in the car with him. And I mean, he didn't even, beat around the bush like I'm your dad.
He showed it. He went straight to the chase.
Yeah, he jumped straight to the chase. He's like, look, I ain't got much time. Rock might pull up any minute now, so I need to go ahead and get out. I need to go ahead and get this off my chest while I still got the time. So he's like,
I still got the nerve.
Well, I still got the nerve, right? He's like, I'm your father. And Kanan kind of laughs it off, and he laughs it off, and they're both kind of like laughing it off. But he's being serious, and Kanan's like, don't know how to really take this. He don't really know how to process this or whatever, because Rock has prepared him that don't believe anything Detective Howard says. He's crazy, he don't remember nothing. Just take whatever he say with a grain of salt. But we know that Detective Howard's actually telling the truth. So what did y'all think about that scene?
I think he called it right on the spot. He let it be known. He said, your mama gonna tell you I'm crazy to stay away from me. And sure as the damn sky is blue, that's exactly what she said.
Because
he know Rock. He knows her.
Yep.
He knows
he
her.
Knows
he
that
know
she's
her
on
play.
a line scheme. And
he know her play.
Yeah. I was thinking about that too, Tori. And the only way I can compensate or justify that is, remember last week when he met with Rock in Baisley Park and he showed her the DNA paperwork or whatever, and she kind of took it and threw it on the ground or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just left it there. Maybe he didn't pick it up. I don't know why he didn't show him proof too. We got a comment wondering why Detective Howard didn't show Kanan the DNA test that he was the father.
I think he's slow walking it.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's slow walking it because I think he's slow walking it. I agree. Like I feel like that's his ace in the hole. But I think he's really trying to like come at because the way he played it at the end, and I don't want to jump there, but the way he played it at the end was perfect.
Yeah.
Because and so I think he's slow walking it because you're right. He has his ace in the hole. He has the proof. But if he's not ready to hear it, he can be like, "Oh, you falsified that. You made that up." You know what I mean? So he that's what I think. But I mean, that's a good point. But that's what I think he's doing. I think he's really trying to get Kanan to come to the conclusion on his own without him trying to force it down his throat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the way he's doing it, I mean, he's putting the right bugs in there because, I mean, it got Kanan looking at the whole situation like, wait a minute.
Well, the one thing that we know for sure is the truth. So, right. I mean, yeah, we know it's the truth. So regardless of what Rock says, Rock has more of a burden on trying to get her point across than Detective Howard is, because Detective Howard is just telling the truth. She's the one who's coming up on lie on top of a lie, on top of another lie, on top of this lie.
Right.
So, she's got a little bit more work to do to put in. Speaking of Rock, she's decided that she wants to.
Daddy.
Right. Speaking of Rock, she decides now that she wants to expand down to New Jersey. So she's taking some advice from Worrell that she's going to expand her operation down to New Jersey. And looks like they meeting at like is it another housing project?
It looked like an empty apartment building. I don't know if it's an actual project, but it's definitely like an empty apartment building.
Yeah. And so, Marvin, and I'm so pleased with how they're writing Marvin this season. They're making him more than just a stupid brute. They're actually giving him some insight on how Marvin could have possibly ran the organization. He's kind of thinking ahead, and he's trying to tell Rock, like, wait, Rock, we're moving way a little too fast. Like, listen, we got 40s up and going. We got Baisley up and going. We got these corners.
Right, like, let's chill out for a minute.
Let's chill for a minute. Let's see how everything works out. But, she's wanting, and then the thing about it is, we know New York. You are wanting to expand into a territory that we've never been in before. So there's going to be problems with that. That they're not going to be able to step into New Jersey and start go and thinking that they're not going to have issues with the competitor.
Right.
So what do y'all think about Rock and her movements? Because she's feeling herself.
I think at some point that's going to be the the straw that breaks the camel back. Her
with all of
moves,
them.
man. You know, like her moves are extremely bold and they loud. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, I'm here. But at the same time, I get it. You wanna make her this powerful woman figure, which is cool. But at the same time, you also see like, you know, so many people saying like, hey man, yeah, chill. I don't think that should be best right now. I don't think that's wise. And you see it. I mean, look at the page. She sent the pages out to Marvin and Lou. And you know what I'm saying? Lou conducting business. You see how she ran up in there on Lou? Like, man, like I run shit.
And see, the thing about it is when she do stuff like that, she's bringing so much attention to their organization. She's bringing too much attention. I was going to mention that when we got to that scene, but yes, I get that they're trying to show that, you know, she's fearless and she don't care. She's going to do whatever she wants to do, but you're ostracizing and alienating everyone in the organization. You're pushing everyone out with your moves. Miss Honey couldn't join us today. She's recovering from surgery, so we hope that you feel better. Hopefully we have you back next
Feel
week.
better, Miss Honey.
We miss you, and thank you for joining in with us. So we get to Jukebox in the studio. I mean, we talked about this last week. And our question, we answered our own question, but it also got answered in the show this week. Jukebox is killing it.
Yeah.
So she's singing a song. Obviously, we know that the song is about Nicole. It's about Nicole. The name of the song is called Bruise. It's an actual song. So you go out there on iTunes, Apple Music is out there. Haley Kilgore, she did her thing on that.
Yeah.
But it's exactly what we said last week. Is exactly Crown confirmed exactly what we said last week, that she has a voice, but you don't have the look. And so, Lulu was kind of offended at first when Crown was like, basically like, listen, you got the voice and you got the sound and everything, but you look like a member from New Edition.
I think he was offended at how he said it. He knew he was right, but how he said it, I think, is where he kind of was like, whoa, bro, like that's my niece. Like,
yeah. The song was very beautiful. It was a beautiful song. She did that.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's getting ready to happen with that song.
Mark my words, they're gonna get that song to that girl.
Yep, I was just Ziza gonna get it. Yep,
she gonna get that song. Yep.
And that's gonna start the rift is already there, but that's gonna start the rift between Juke and Lulu.
Yep, absolutely. They're gonna get that song to Ziza. Yep. But going back to what I was saying last week about Crown, for whatever reason, Crown wasn't running the business financially well, but he's a good producer. He knows
But he was too busy getting high. Remember, he was snorting up his money. He was snorting up his profit.
Yep. He was snorting up. Yeah, well, not even the profit. He wasn't paying the bills. He was taking the money.
Right. Yeah. He wasn't handling the business side. Yeah, he's definitely a great producer. He wasn't handling the business side.
I agree. I think there should have been a private conversation with Jukebox instead of putting it out there in the open. But it's kind of like what Crown said. It's like, listen, you want to be a part of this, then this is what comes with it. And it was kind of like what we were saying last week, how hard it was for artists to break in the industry back then in the 90s. You had to have the total package. You had to have the voice and the look.
It wasn't just the 90s, though. That's always been a problem.
It still is.
Yeah. And it always, like I said in my review, Roberta Flack. She wasn't allowed to be on the cover of her album. Her first album cover, they wouldn't let her be on the album because she didn't have the look.
Yep. Hell, we go all the way back to Dreamgirls days. So, yeah, you're right. I agree. I think this is what's going to drive that wedge between Jukebox and Lulu. I think up until this point, they will be kind of neutral with each other, but I think that when they give that song to that other artist, that's really going to push her away from from Lulu. We already know she don't see it for her daddy. And, she's kind of dealing with Rock with a long-handed spoon. So she's pretty much on the outs. She's going to be on the outs with everyone.
But when she found out that Rock lied about her mom, that's what's going to do it with Rock. When she found out Rock lied about about why her mother left.
You're right, and you're right too, Kiwan. I think this is what's going to further push her into law enforcement because I mean she's going to be so done with her whole family at this point.
Yep, I agree with that. Hey, what's good?
What's up? Well, Really B said that last week that crowd is going to turn into a crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? Welcome in, Jack and Joyce. How you doing today, brother?
What up, Jack?
What's up, Jack?
Tired.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm here.
Famous is definitely on his way to the pipe. And they keep making a big deal about this whole apartment thing for a reason. Wherever he lands, something's gonna be happening in that apartment building.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crack house. Yeah, that's exactly what it's gonna be, Miss Honey. It's gonna be a crack house. Jack, what did you think about the episode? What were your thoughts?
I love the episode. I think it was dope. I don't understand. I saw somebody about the paperwork, show that he was especially since he laughed him off like that.
Yeah.
Why am I so choppy? Oh my god, I gotta fix this.
So
this is driving.
We shoot to Marvin. He's at his anger management class.
Yo, these anger management sessions are hilarious.
But you know what? Out of everything in the story, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier, that there are certain things in the story that we may or may not like, but I think it's important to the story. I think Marvin's going to walk away. We saw in this episode that he actually walked away with something that was useful. But for some reason, I'm just not feeling this storyline. I'm not feeling it. And I'm not feeling this Renee character in him because we obviously see the character development where we're going with this. That's going to become Marvin's new love interest. But we know that normal citizens don't make it in the world of power. So we already know what her outcome is going to be. If she get mixed up with Marvin in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it ain't going to end well for her. So I guess that's what I'm anticipating to happen, is why I'm probably not interested in this storyline much. But basically, you know, she was pretty much telling Marvin that, listen, you're going to have to participate. You're not going to just be able to show up for these sessions and just sit here and eat. Like, you're going to have to actually contribute and share with the group.
Ooh, him and that food.
Yeah, he love to eat. So,
every scene, this dude is eating something. Chips, a snack, peanuts, something.
Donuts, a hot dog, a hamburger.
Something.
Something. Yeah, Famous is definitely headed to the crack house. Yo, he definitely is. So speaking of Famous, we have Kanan that's approaching Famous. They were supposed to meet up. So I guess, you know, Kanan is still committed to helping Famous to try to raise up some money to find him a place to live. I guess I'm just trying to figure out is how you think you're going to go sign a lease on a building with no job, no income, and you under 18. Do you really think somebody going to rent an apartment to you? So, that was funny.
Famous is special. And you heard where he said that his mother even talked to the other family about not letting him live there. It's deeper than him. Like, it's deeper.
But you know how sometimes parents just take this to an extreme. Like, I get that you don't want to be associated with him. You don't want to help him no more. You're disappointed in his behavior or whatever the case may be. But I think it's a little far to the extreme to call around to the family and say, well, I don't help him. I'll put him out of here because he's this, he's that. You're forcing him into the streets. You're forcing him for whatever happens next. You're leaving him with little to no choice. But
and that blood is on your hands.
That blood's going to be on your hands. That's right.
But I think, and I hear that, but I think that his mother feels like him stealing money out of her purse. I think that's a deeper thing that his mother's concerned with.
Yeah. And she probably knows.
And maybe she just told the family members, listen, I put him out for a reason. Like, I'm not just mad. I'm not just overreacting. Like, you know, he's not, because we ain't seen these niggas go to school yet. So, I mean, he running in the streets. He not going to school. He not doing nothing. And now he's stealing. Like, if if she let him move into another family member's house and he starts stealing from the family member, the first thing that family member gonna do is call her up and be like, yo, why you ain't tell me he a thief? Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. So Famous, since he's in the streets, he's got his ear in the streets. So he pretty much informs Kanan that Scrappy is dead and that it was a suicide. So they pretty much staged killing Scrappy to make it look like he took his own life. So and
that I didn't like. That was bogus.
I didn't like that either. But it's going back to what we said last week, that we know that Kanan was going to have a hard time believing that. We knew that Kanan, had kind of gotten close. They did say that because remember when Marvin asked Jukebox what class she was taking, she was like, school hadn't started yet. Yeah, so I guess it's still summer break for him.
I guess.
We knew that Kanan was going to have a hard time processing that, and him and Scrappy had gotten close. So he was like, "Yo, why ain't nobody, particularly why my mom didn't even tell me about this? Like,
right.
I got to hear about it. What's up, Xavier? I got to hear about it in the streets that Scrappy is dead." So do you think that Kanan's going, that's what I was going to ask too, Tori. Do you think that Kanan is going to seek out the truth? Because you can almost kind of feel like he don't believe this. Like, he gonna dig into this a little bit.
He the only one sitting there saying, "Hey, I don't think Scrappy." He like, man, that don't even sound like Scrappy.
And what really makes it suspect out of all of it is nobody in the family is talking to him about it. They know how close he knows how close Scrappy was to the organization, and the fact that nobody in the family is talking to him about it means that they got something to do with this.
I think going back to what everybody was saying last week about Kanan getting to a point where maybe he take Rock's life, like all this stuff is starting to add up in that direction. When he found out that she lied to him about his father, when he found out she lied about Scrap, when he found out she lied about Juke's mom, like stuff is starting to, like, when the people was first saying that, I was like, he ain't gonna kill his mama. But now I'm like,
it ain't too far-fetched.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's gonna all happen this season, but at some point, all of Rock's lies are going to catch up to her, as far as Kanan is concerned. You know what I'm saying?
And this we had a in-depth discussion. I think we're going to continue to have discussions about this particular part of the story because we have so many questions about that. Because at some point in the story, we know that Kanan's going to end up going to work for Breeze. And I think what we're seeing here is what's going to drive him away from his mom. He's going to pretty much disown his mom, per se, kind of like how Jukebox is. She's still part of the family, but she's not involved in the family business.
Right.
And I think that Kanan's going to be the same way. He's going to separate or disassociate himself with the family and go out and do his own thing. But you're right, Tori. We said that earlier. Like, everything that Rock says is a lie. I mean, we don't know what to believe.
Can't believe nothing that come out that woman's mouth, child.
Everything she say is just far-fetched. So speaking of Rock, she pulls up to the bodega and she's getting ready to do a money drop. And she gets there and the door is locked. It's the middle of the day. She's trying to figure out what's going on. So she's knocking at the door. She's looking in the windows or whatever. We see the cash register open, but ain't no money taken. We see Rock call the store. Julia is not answering the phone. So she pulls out the keys. She lets herself in. She goes to kind of look around in the store to see if she could figure out what could have possibly happened. She go back there to the back room. All the money is gone.
Gone.
So she's freaking out at this point. Like, she's trying to figure out what the hell going on.
All the money gone, even the money that the rats was eating.
Yeah, even the money that the rats was eating is gone. Yeah, you did clean up everything. You swept the floor. So she's freaking out. She's calling Lulu. Of course, Lulu's not answering the phone. He's like, "Oh, I'm working right now." He's making beats. So that seems to be more important than family business. So she's pissed. Marvin is having a conversation with Renee, and they're kind of flirting with each other, or more so, he's flirting with her. His page was going off, and she asked, "Is that work?" And he was like, "Nah, not really. It's family, but family and work is kind of about the same, or whatever the case may be." So, Marvin goes to go answer the page. we see that there's this disabled guy that's living in the Baisley building that's trying to get on the elevator. He's frustrated because the elevator has finally gotten fixed. And now every time he tries to go get up to his apartment, he can't because the elevator is always pretty much full. And we can assume that everybody going up there to that top floor to, get the drugs or whatever. So do you think he's going to be a problem?
Yep.
No.
Miss Honey said Rock was dressed like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, her outfits were a little. She was doing a lot.
Yeah, she's not subtle.
Yeah, that outfit was a little moonwalkish.
Yeah.
I don't think dude is gonna be a problem. I think in that episode, I think what we see in that episode is, maybe a kind of gentler Marvin. But also, I think dude is gonna end up being a help to them. I think that somehow they're gonna pull him in.
Working for them. I was thinking about that too. Welcome back, Jack.
I'm technical difficulties and just driving easy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So we see Kanan show up to the building and whatever, and he goes in pretending to look for his uncle for a ride, but really he went there with intentions on stealing some work, and he was able to get some work. And so we now know what his plan is now, which I said last week. We talked about this last week as well, that Famous is going to end up working for Kanan. And so now he's came up with an idea, which Kanan does have some good ideas, but we also always know that something ain't gonna work out in his favor with this.
Yeah, when it come up short, they're gonna be looking at the people that work the stash house. They're gonna be looking for Kanan.
Yep. Well, not only that, but y'all are serving the work with these mixtapes. Y'all throwing the tapes away, but all the junkies, as soon as they're getting around the corner, they're throwing the mixtapes all over the ground. So eventually,
that's definitely leaving a trail.
You're leaving a trail, right? So eventually, law enforcement is going to wonder why all these tapes are laying around on the streets.
Those cops.
Yep.
Which going to make Raquel hot.
Yep, they're going to make them hot. Yep. So weird.
Because they don't want nobody on them corners, but now they're on the corners.
But what I couldn't understand is why they didn't bother him this episode. Last episode, they roughed them up and told them that they couldn't sell on the street without a permit. They still ain't had no permit this time, and back on the same corner they was hustling on last time, but they just kind of laughed at them and drove off this time. I guess
I just think I think they had their fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had their fun. Like, we know they selling some bogus ass mixtapes that nobody like. I don't know, but I don't know.
I was thinking about that too, Xavier. I couldn't understand why Kanan just didn't go to his mom and tell his mom, or even Marvin for that matter, and tell his mom that, listen, my homeboy, he out on the street, he needs some money for an apartment. Can I borrow some money? Can I work it off, or whatever the case may be? But we already know that he's going down the wrong path. He's definitely going down a dangerous path, not because he's stealing from his family. And like you said, really, when they come up short on that money and they come up short on that work, that's going to be consequences for the workers. And so now they're going to be killing more people or getting rid of more people or alienating more people that's not a threat to the organization, all because of Kanan's action. So we know that that's going to be a big blow up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not necessarily ask for famous, but I mean, I would think that, is Kanan seems to have a relationship that he's pretty much spoiled. So him going to ask for money, even if he didn't tell them what he needed the money for, I would think that they would give it to him. I would have rather him took that approach than going to steal it, because that's going to create so much more problems with him stealing it versus asking for it. But we'll see how that unfolds. Rock is desperately trying to find Julia. She riding all over town. She done went to that lady's house. She knocking at the door. At one point, I thought she was getting ready to break the window and climb in.
Yeah, I thought she was too. I thought she was going to break in her house.
I definitely thought she was going to kick that door.
Yeah, she was like she wanted to. I thought she had a key to the lady's house at one point.
Yeah, me too. I was waiting for her to pull that key out.
Yeah, at least knew where one was at, because she went and lifted up the doormat.
She lifted up the doormat, right?
As far as the drugs, though, with Kanan in the projects getting that drugs, I think one of them workers is gonna mention that Kanan been up there when they come up short and end up getting killed. Because then it's gonna be like an insinuate, like you insinuating that he came up here stealing. He wouldn't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
That's right, Miss Honey. You got all these workers. You got a gate. You got about 5. Yeah, she got about 50 armed guards at that apartment.
Look, I said that in my review.
Yep.
Listen, I said it in my review. I said this one's gonna rock because there's no way in the world that it wasn't supposed to be somebody sitting out in front of that bodega in shifts 24 hours a day. As long as that bodega, even at night, somebody was supposed to be sitting on that bodega.
Yeah.
Even if it's just outside, somebody was supposed to be sitting on that bodega. Ain't no way in the world.
You know that's where all the money at.
Ain't no way in the world you supposed to have that bodega exposed like that. At the very least, Juliana should have had a gun under the counter. Something.
Or a worker in there in the store with her that's keeping an eye on everything. But right, they got that lady over there defenseless by herself, and she's guarding the money.
Oh, wait a minute. William said Warrell is Breeze. I can see that.
I can see that too. I can see him turning into Breeze. Yep.
I can see that.
That's
either that or we still haven't met what's the name's brother that Lulu killed. His brother still haven't been introduced, was supposed to get out of jail. So we ain't seen him yet either. And that's who I think Breeze is.
I don't think it would be no more suspicious, Xavier, than them having all them hoods up there at their apartment.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. It don't have to be obvious. Like, he don't have to be sitting in the bodega. But, I mean, somebody riding by every hour on the hour. Something. That bodega wasn't supposed to be exposed like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvin, so Marvin and Rock are having a conversation back at the apartment, and she cleared a room so they can speak privately. And she informs Marvin that, listen, all their money is gone. They got a re-up in 2 days, and it's a big re-up because now they need work for the 40s. They need work for Baisley, and now the expansion out into New Jersey, which I think is a bad idea.
Yep.
And so Marvin first thoughts is that Juliana took the money and ran off. And that would have been our first thought if they didn't show us where Unique had kidnapped her. Because when she made that comment last week about you just make all this money and let rats eat it, that would have been very suspenseful for us to think that, damn, she don't took their money and haul ass. But we know that Unique kidnapped her. And Rock was like, no, I don't think she would do that because her cousin is the connect or whatever the case may be. So
basically, she robbing us, she robbing him.
She robbing them, right? And so she was like, this Unique. She was like, she pretty much knew it was Unique. She was like, ain't no one else bold enough to make a move like this but Unique. So at that point, she put the word out. Yeah, look, y'all need to go find him and find out what's going on.
I agree with you, Cheryl. Unique story isn't over. I don't know if he's Breeze though, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if Unique was into Breeze. But I like the idea of Wardell being Breeze too, because you done brought Wardell into the organization, and we see that Lulu is no longer interested. They done got rid of Scrap. Marvin, so I could definitely see Wardell moving up the ranks and becoming the number 2. I don't know.
And you know what? That's actually believable too, because we couldn't figure out last season why they chose to keep him alive. Why did they choose to keep him alive? And there's a reason why they chose to keep Warrell's character alive. It's for a bigger picture. So I can actually see that. I don't know. I think Warrell's playing the game exactly how he should. Because at the end of the day, he's just a worker. He may have been a lieutenant over there with Unique's organization, but in this case with Rocknam, he is truly just a worker. So I think what he's doing is he's biding his time. He's understanding the setup. He's understanding the organization. He's understanding who the connect is, what their move is. So it's going to be very easy for him to take over her organization because Rock is doing half the work for him because she's pushing everyone away. She's getting rid of everyone that is an ally to her. So she's going to make it very easy for anyone to come in and clean up her organization. Do you think that Warrell's going to continue working with them after this episode? Do you think that he's going to kind of work with Unique on the side, or do you think that Unique is truly out for the moment? Maybe we see him return in later seasons.
I don't know what's going on with Unique, but he's not out. He's not out. He got a bigger plan. I just don't know what it is. I don't believe him. I don't believe him for a minute when he's like, I'm retired. I don't believe that because he don't know nothing else. What else does he know?
Ain't like he gonna go get a regular job, right?
Yeah. What else does he know? Yeah. I just think there's a bigger plan. I can't see it. I don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. We need a couple more episodes to flush that out. So we see Detective Burke is at her father's house, and they sitting out back and they having beer and everything. And he is a former police officer or detective, or he worked in law enforcement. So she's sitting here and she's pretty much telling her father her suspicions of her partner. And her father's like, no, wait, hold on. This your partner.
Yeah, right. You don't question your partner, but he say what he say.
That's right. Like,
what he say is what he say.
That's right. I feel like she's like a dog with a bone with this, though. Let this shit go.
And my thing is, here's my thing. Even if he is lying, why do you care so much?
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, I guess it's obstruction of justice. I mean, maybe she's an Angela Valdez and she's committed to finding the truth no matter what. But I feel like all she's going to do is create problems for herself. She's going to create a problem for herself, or she's going to get unalive behind all this.
That's what I just said. Angie got her ass killed because of that.
Yep. Like, you just need to leave well enough alone at this point.
She is aggravating. I agree, Kiwan. She aggravating as hell.
She's about as aggravating as the other detective on Power that popped up on Tommy. What's her name, y'all?
Blanca.
I don't remember
Blanca.
Oh my God, Blanca's annoying as fuck.
Even her voice.
Like, why are you here? When she popped up on Tommy, I was like, oh fuck no.
I can't with you, Xavier.
You know what, Xavier?
I can't. She is aggravating for real. Detective Howard will give up his life for Kanan. That will cause a divide between Kanan and Rock. I believe that Bree's character will appear and then take Kanan under his wing. I think that's exactly how it's going to happen.
That's a good one.
I think that's. I really get your boy. Rock put Laurel with Laurel, so he's back in the game because Lou's not paying attention. Laurel's going to kill him. Yeah, Lulu is a loose end at this point.
Lulu doesn't care. Like he really like even at the end when Marvin was like, "Yo, you tried to kill us," and Rock was like, "We tried to kill him." And Lou was like, listen, it's just business. And, Unique was like, see, he gets it. It ain't personal, it's business. Lou doesn't, at this point, Lulu don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I think he stopped caring when she bought, because remember, that's what she said to him about bringing Warrell on. He was like, you know what he tried to do to me? And she was like, it's business. It ain't personal. So I think he like, fuck it. It's business. It ain't personal. Like he is so checked out. He is, the fact that Rock didn't just page him once. She was blowing him up. And I'm sure she was using 911. Y'all remember back in the day, you paid somebody 911. You know that means it's an emergency. And he didn't care. He did not, like, he could care less what the problem was with Rock. She literally had to go look for him. And that shit, last season, she would have never had to go look for Lulu.
That's right. And really, she could activate Lulu just with a phone call. Bat her up. And that was it.
Batter up. Exactly.
That was it.
And like he told her, I'm not swinging this time.
Yep. But you know what, Cheryl? You're right. He had checked out after D-Wiz, but he especially had checked out after he had got out of the hospital, and he found out that she sent Kanan to shoot Detective Howard. Mm-hmm. He was done for real then. He was done, So I don't think that Lulu is going to be much help to the family much longer. I don't think that Juke is going to kill Marvin. Well, I don't know.
I think Marvin going out in the blaze of glory if he go out. And it ain't gonna be Jukebox.
No,
I don't think it's gonna. I think Marvin's death is gonna be some Queen Latifah at the end to set it off type shit. Like,
there it is.
It's gonna be crazy.
I don't think it's gonna be Juke. I don't think it's gonna be Juke.
No, I don't think so either. So we back at the studio, and Zisa is singing this little song that nobody care about.
That song is terrible.
That song was absolutely terrible.
Okay,
That song was ass.
I thought it was just me.
It was ass.
Yeah.
Dumpster juice in the summertime.
Which goes back to why we think that they're gonna steal Juke's song and give it to her, because I don't know what she was singing in there.
Well, when he said it's a cute when Cartier said it's a cute song, but we can do better than that. She needs something. I said they're gonna take Juke's song.
Yep, they're gonna take a song.
Yep. And maybe that's exactly what we were getting in this scene, because we all thought that the song was ass. So maybe that's exactly what they are showing us here. That okay, yeah, this ain't working for her, so they're gonna end up stealing that girl's song.
Definitely.
I think Famous is going to be a liability. We said that last week.
Because he's a crackhead.
Well, not only that, but now he's selling their work in it. He's inadvertently selling their work. You know that he's going to end up rhyming about this. You know he's going to end up being involved in stuff that Rock don't want him involved in. So it's going to be a big problem with Famous being.
It's already been a lot of foreshadowing, because remember Crown said, he said, man, hey, he said, oh, your mama put you out. He said, now you can take that. You got something to rap about.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And the fact that Kanan and them are out in plain sight serving junkies on the corner. And y'all not even trying to be slick about this whatsoever, and don't know who you serve, because that last fiend that walked up to him, I thought he was an undercover cop.
Me too.
I thought so too, because he looked too clean.
He looked
real clean.
Yep. I said, well, damn, you don't know who the hell you serving to. Like, think. Think.
Like, use your head. Damn.
Your mama's got the fiends coming to her. Y'all out here in the streets. And your family is going to hear about someone out here selling drugs on corners. Yep. It's not them. So they're going to come looking to find out who's out here selling drugs on the corner. Y'all just creating a bigger problem for the organization at this point. Rock pulled up to the studio and she's like, yo, we need to talk. And when she get ready to jump on them boys, she don't care who around. She don't care who's in the presence. She gonna say what she want to say. I was like, Rock, you wait a minute, because we saw Crown do exactly what I said he was gonna do before I even got the thought out of my head. When she was like, I need to talk to you in private, he got up and went and listened at the door. And Cartier's like, you're a nosy little motherfucker, huh, aren't you? So right there, Crown overheard their business. So we already know that he's gonna take that and use that as a weapon against Lulu, which we saw him do later on in the episode. We saw him take that and use that as a weapon against him. Marvin and the dude in
Crown need to die.
I actually kind of like Crown this season. I like how he's moving.
I can't stand Crown.
I like how he's moving. I mean, he's pretty much doing the same thing that Lulu did to him. So I mean, it's eat or get eaten. So right now he's trying to regain what was taken away from him. Lulu came in there strong on that man out of his business. So I mean, he's just fighting back the best way he know how.
Yeah.
He was, but you know what? Even the adult version of Kanan, we now start to see some of those characteristics. We can see how he developed some of those characteristics. Even with his relationship with Tariq, because Jukebox said last week when he was watching, when they were watching the movie, and he was like, you got a heart or whatever the case may be. We saw that with Tariq. He had a heart. He couldn't see himself killing Tariq or whatever the case may be. And that's going to be his downfall. This in this version of Power, just like it was in the last version of Power, that's going to be his downfall.
I think the end of next season. I think the last 2 episodes of next season, we're going to start either hearing the names or we're going to see them. That's what I think.
Or we're going to get a fast forward. We're going to get a fast forward, like maybe 5 years later. You know, at the end of this season, we'll probably get a fast forward that'll start season 3. Marvin, old dude at Baisley's, they kind of going back and forth or whatever. Dude's mad, that's disrespectful to Marvin or whatever. Marvin handled the situation, put the man on the elevator, send him on up to the apartment or whatever the case.
No, you got to do it right. Marvin practiced his breathing techniques.
No. He did.
He practiced his breathing techniques.
Well, I can tell you right now, he ain't the Marvin I am, because I would have beat his ass. Wheelchair not.
Marvin, you need to start using your breathing technique.
Hey, ain't nowhere in hell you
That's why
gonna
your name is Marvin.
I would have beat his ass. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair or not.
I would have
I would at least push his ass out the wheelchair.
Marvin, use your breathing techniques.
I got a fucking breathing technique for him. Would have beat his ass. You talking about where you from and what you would do, talking about how you put 7 fools on their back while you was in the wheelchair. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm like Xavier on the same page as you. Somebody he should have beat him with the wheelchair.
I'm about to beat
but that's why. But I'm telling you, that's why I think we're gonna see that dude again. The next time we see him, he's gonna be working. Cause my thing is, if I'm in the business, I'm putting you to work. Because I think about it like this: people are gonna overlook you. People aren't gonna think you really can do nothing, and you can keep a gun up, right in your wheelchair or whatever. Keep you as a lookout or something. Like I'm not saying we're gonna see him again, but if we do see him again, I think he's gonna be working.
Yeah.
Listen, I would have whooped his ass and took his black tongue fire red 5s off his feet.
Oh gosh.
I just would have pushed him out the wheelchair and tell him now try to get to the damn elevator.
Y'all are terrible.
Y'all are terrible.
You ain't about to talk to me like that. You crazy?
You talk to me like you fucking crazy, right? You got a whole damn.
I'm still laying people on their back.
I mean, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Can we put this in perspective? You took this nigga's whole apartment and turned it into a big ass crack house, and he ain't supposed to be mad. The nigga, it ain't like he got an option. He can't walk down the steps. Y'all got the elevator all blocked up.
He took the money.
But like he said, I didn't sign up for this though.
The elevator didn't even work prior to them getting there.
The elevator, listen, the money was so that I won't call the police. It ain't so I can't go nowhere. Shit, he can't even get on the elevator.
The elevator didn't work until they got there.
That brings a real good point. What the hell was you doing before that elevator got
Well, that ain't the point.
You better crawl your ass up the stairs. You wasn't even talking all that crap. You better crawl your ass up the stairs. I'm talking about some. I laid plenty of people on their back. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you.
Y'all boys are terrible.
Y'all are terrible.
Y'all are terrible. That man is disabled. He don't beat on disabled people.
Hey, and you know what? And you know what?
Tori, he took the money.
He can live a healthy life disabled if he stopped talking shit.
After he get his ass
exactly.
Because if that was me,
100%.
If that was me, he would have got his ass whooped.
Because them 5s definitely look like they was about a size 9.
Nah, it might have been a size 12. Our size, ain't it? It was our size.
That's why I said I would have beat his ass and took him.
Hey, but you know what though? I love that scene because it was hilarious. I ain't even gonna lie. That whole scene was hilarious. Because Marvin was like, I'm really about
to on the black tongue fire red 5s.
Ass.
Yeah.
And he calmed himself down.
He did calm himself down.
That scene was dope.
He did. He calmed himself down. He put it
that scene was dope. Yeah.
Now y'all gonna have me out in the streets like,
I already started practicing.
He said I already started practicing. Oh man.
I just did it when my internet just went down. So yeah, I'm practicing.
You have to breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah. Oh, open, aggressive. I'm open, aggressive. I wanted to take the whole router and throw the shit out the window. So I'm open, aggressive. I had to calm down.
You were open, aggressive. I got it. Well, we already know Juggernaut's open, aggressive. He's very open, aggressive. Those y'all don't know. So we get to the next scene. Detective Howard is getting on with this trick. And we find out later on after they get finished that she's a prostitute, basically. And he's weird for sure because he's trying to actually have a civil conversation with her, but what he said came out all the way wrong. He's like, "Do you?" Because his mind was on Kanan, and he was trying to seek some advice from her.
He was
acceptance from her son for what she does. So he was looking for that type of conversation with her about, well, I just recently found out who my son is, so I got the feeling that he was really just trying to have a conversation with her, but the delivery was just all wrong. He was like, well, do you think your son know what you do? And she instantly got offended by it. And, she was like, well, if he does know what I do, then he know that I will lay down my life for him and blah, 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 this. And she took a little money.
I'm still trying to figure out why she got offended. It came out wrong, but I'm still trying to figure out why she get offended.
Because at the end of the day, you turning tricks, and at the end of the day, even for self-love, you have to imagine that, sometimes you may have that feeling in the back of your mind that I'm a horrible person because I'm turning tricks. So,
it's kind of like if a dude is selling drugs to
take care of
his family, and his kids find out, then his kids find, you try to keep them far away from it as possible. But this is what you do for real. Like, it's what you do. I can understand if she didn't do it. I digress. I can understand if she wasn't, that person. But
this is the profession you choose.
If a drug dealer is a drug dealer, then
be the best drug dealer you are.
Choose. You just got to try to keep your kids away from it. But I get what Detective Howard was trying to do. He was trying to, reel in some information to see about how to get closer to Kanan, I guess. Or build a parental relationship because he hasn't been, until he just found out. So I see what he was trying to do though.
But we see when the prostitute leaves, Burke is out there in the car on a stakeout, and she follows her. Like, you followed a prostitute?
What was that about?
What you
following her for?
That shit was gonna find out.
I didn't understand that at all.
She's just doing too much.
That shit was irritating, man.
She is doing too much.
Pointless. Are we going to get another? Are we going to get a scene next week where she pops up at the house, the young lady whose name is unknown, and have a conversation with her or something? Because other than that scene was pointless.
I think what they were trying to show us in that was her further disbelieving this memory loss thing, because if you're socializing with previous acquaintances, then obviously you remember them. So I think that's what they were trying to show us.
But they didn't have no conversation. They didn't show us a conversation that they was having or something that happened to him previous before getting shot. That's why I don't understand what was where did she come in? Like, where's the role at? And that's why I was like, well, what is she following her for? What did she expect to? What are they trying to show us by showing us this?
It's just.
But my thing is, the doctor even said that. The doctor was like, he may remember everything except for the night of the shooting. So he can remember people. I mean, he remembers her. Yeah. He remembers his other co-workers. It's just the night of the shooting that he's saying he don't remember. And I'm not understanding what she ain't understanding about that. Like, amnesia works real crazy. And the doctor explained that to her. I just wish she would let the shit go. Like,
it's just a nuance to show us that she's just not going to let this go. That she's not going to investigate any other cases until she get closure on this one. She's get a Blanca Rodriguez.
That could get a kill though.
It is going to get a kill. Because once she figures out what's going to happen, and Rock finds out that she's in the know of all this, oh yeah, she up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
She up out of here. She done for. So speaking of Rock, Rock pulls up on Warrell, or she meets up with Warrell, and she pretty much like, listen, I need you to find Unique, because all of a sudden now we bring you on to the organization. I get robbed, and your boy go on the ground. We can't find him. So you need to find him like your life depend on it, because it does.
Because it does.
Dependable.
Yeah, she let his ass have it. She let him know what time it was. Like, listen, yeah, Burke days are numbered for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely numbered.
I don't know, because Blanca ass got 9 fucking lives. I ain't holding my breath on that.
Man,
Blanca got 9 lives.
I'm hoping Burke dies. She get on my damn nerves.
Yeah. Or get reassigned. She need to get assigned to meter duty or something.
Right. I mean, shit.
Or maybe she decides to leave New York.
Get up out of here. Something.
And go to DC.
And go to DC.
Yep. Yep. There we go. Yeah. And
that was an unnecessary scene, Miss Honey. And I'm wondering if it's going to mean something later on, because I agree with you. Her meeting with her ex-girlfriend was just weird. It was an unnecessary scene, and I'm wondering if that's going to come back later and mean something.
Am I the only one who thought that too? I thought I was the only one that thought she was a doppelganger. But actually, she kind of reminds me more of, and I was almost getting ready to go on IMDb and look up the actress, because she almost reminds me of Jenny Sullivan from Book 2. She almost looks like the DA from
that wasn't her. I know
it wasn't her, but yeah, she kind of looked like her. But yeah, she did look like they looked alike. So we back at home now. Jukebox and Kanan are in the room and they're having a conversation. And Kanan's pretty much told her that, yo, this dude rolled up on me, but he didn't say anything about me shooting him. So Juke's like, well, maybe he don't remember or whatever. So they're having a whole conversation trying to figure this shit out. And Rock walks in, and first thing that come roll up out of her mouth is, what y'all talking about?
Because her ass is paranoid.
Paranoid, yep. And then the second thing that rolls out of her mouth is, have y'all seen Julia? So she pretty much letting them know that something up. And so Jukebox quickly dismisses herself. Well, I'm going to bed. Y'all have a nice evening.
Right, yeah. I'm out of this.
Yeah, I don't want no parts of this.
But that's how Juke stays invisible. That's how she stays invisible.
She fly low.
Yeah, she know when to get the hell up out of a jam. She gotta go, deuces.
Yep, see y'all later. So she then comes in and have a conversation with Kanan. And Kanan, I thought at first Kanan wasn't going to tell her, but we see Kanan is more honest with her than she is with him.
Yeah.
And he pretty much told her that, listen, that detective rolled up on me or whatever. And she's like, see, I told you he was crazy. He always been crazy like this or whatever. Don't believe nothing he's saying. You just keep telling me what he's saying and ignore him. Like you already just further putting doubt in his mind that you ain't being honest with me. So you keep telling me that this dude not being honest with me, but you jump to the chase real quick anytime the man name come up. So I already know that you not being honest with me either.
Mm-hmm.
He know his mama not a straight shooter. He know that shit.
See, that's what I was kind of going with that a little bit, Xavier. Maybe we think that Burke gets killed. Maybe she does survive,
I hope she get a ticket punch. Shit.
And I think is what me and Really was saying. I think I think she does survive into another version of power, but we just don't see her in that version of power. I think she's the reason that Jukebox ends up in DC. I think she ends up going to DC and Jukebox goes with her. And she ends up helping Jukebox get into the force, and maybe she gets killed in the line of duty or something like that. Maybe that's how they're going to explain the way. But I think she's the pathway to Jukebox heading DC, and she going with her. Yep. Because I think at the end of this season, going back to what we were saying about the mama, I think when Juke finds out what Rock did, because right now Jukebox is staying with Rock. So he ain't got nowhere else to go. So I think when she finds out that Rock was the one that was responsible for her mom not being in her life, now she's going to alienate herself from Rock. And so that Detective Burke is that lady who she's going to end up going to live with, probably.
Yep.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how that unfolds. Like I said, I wasn't really interested in that scene with the girlfriend either. I think that scene was just giving us more insight on Detective Burke's character.
Yeah, you're right.
When she gets a hold of something, she ain't going to let it go.
It's definitely time for a disconnection. No, you already sent the final notice.
Okay, good. We appreciate that. Keep it cute, because Ebony ain't showed up in God knows how long, so we ain't had nobody
issued out. No.
Listen, Abby be worshiping. She be at the house of the Lord. praying for all of us. Okay.
Listen, we got someone else now to send out our notices, so I'm good.
Right.
Send out
If you're gonna be
disconnection
sending out
notice.
disconnection notices, we'll take that.
We'll take it. Lulu is sitting in the car. He's listening to Jukebox song. Him and Marvin are out in the streets, and they still try to, keep an eye out, keep an ear out, try to find out what's the deal with Unique or whatever the case may be. Marvin gets in the whip, and he instantly recognizes his daughter and say, "Yo, that's Juke. She's good." And Lulu like, she always been good. Like, where you been?
Right.
And they have a moment. They actually have a potential brotherly moment where Marvin admits to Lulu that, listen, I messed up. And then
I feel bad for Marvin because he was like, did she ask about me? And Lou was like,
no.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Not even a little bit, my guy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but.
And so Lulu looked like he wanted to kind of have a conversation with Marvin, but Lulu doesn't know how to have a conversation with his brother about this. And that's the crazy part about it, is everybody knows it's wrong. Everybody knows what's going on is wrong, but nobody knows how to approach it. And that's further making this whole situation with Jukebox even worse, because nobody in the family got enough sense to, fix this.
Right.
So they're just kind of letting it go unspoken about, but all it's doing is creating more damage.
Yeah.
Rock is back at the house. She's still calling all around, trying to figure out what's going on. Famous and Kanan are sitting out on the front porch. Famous is still in the newspaper looking for places to stay. Even with the work that they stole and sold, he still doesn't have enough to get him an apartment. So he's like, he does not want to go back to the Y, because he said somebody tried to mess with him at the Y, and so he don't want to go back over there no more.
He said they done went in his book bag and everything.
Yeah. Like, at this point, I would be asked Katie, listen, I know you say I can't stay here, but can I at least spend the night?
Spend the night, man? Can I sleep on the couch? Something? Please.
Slow, give me a little
pound.
I thought that was a good scene with Marvin and Lulu too. I really wanted them to kind of go a little further, because they really don't have much dialogue other than when they're picking at each other.
Right, when they fighting. Yeah.
When they fighting and arguing. So I really wanted them to have a moment where they kind of talked about it. And Lulu probably gave his perspective. I would have liked to see Lulu's perspective on the whole situation, but that was a missed opportunity. Crown pulls up and approaches, and he's kind of slithering his way into information when we saw him eavesdrop on Rox and Lulu's conversation. So he slithered his way into some information that he had no business knowing about. So he's now got enough gall to approach Rock with a proposition. Yeah. I think Lulu's probably going to end up being the one to kill him, but he may be the next Dre. He might be the Dre of this series, where we think that he's going to die. He ain't going to die, because he's moving ahead, even though he's making moves that we may or may not like, but he's not dumb either. So he's making moves. And this move he just made right in this scene is a power play. So he approaches Famous, and he's noticed that he's looking at the vacancies in the newspaper or whatever. He was like, yo, you need a place to stay? He's like, I'll go talk. Didn't he say Cartier? Didn't he say you go talk to Cartier?
I can't remember, but he said he was going to go talk to somebody about some living arrangements.
And he was like, well, this ain't going to be, no fine living or anything. So, it's going to be, which goes back to, it's going to be a hole in the wall type place. It's going to be somewhere where, ironically, it could end up being in Baisley or the 40s. It could be in one of those buildings that they serving out of.
It could be
that he ended up living. And so he's like, well, your mom home? He goes in, knocks on the door. Rock comes to the door. She's like, listen, I ain't got time for you right now. I'm busy. I got some stuff going on. He's like, well, I got a proposition for you. My proposition is, how about I sell you my interest in the studio, and that way you can use it to wash your drug money. And I'm like, you awfully bold.
Right.
You awfully bold. But it's a great idea, because I think Rock gonna take him up on that offer. She gonna buy his portion. You muted, really. Really B, you muted.
You muted.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but I just said it was a good idea because
Yeah.
she really needs somewhere to wash her money. So
We said that last week. We said that we couldn't understand why she wasn't using the studio to wash the money. So that answered that question right there, because that's exactly what she's gonna buy his part of it.
Well, remember Lulu told her last year. Lulu told her, I don't want the drug money touching this. I want this to be legit. I want it to be mine and be. She tried to do it last year and he told her no.
Yeah, because when they were doing the showcase, she wanted to
which is gonna make it even worse if she goes behind his back and goes into business with Crown. It's gonna be even worse because they had the conversation and he told her no.
And not only that, but now she takes control of something that he has.
Right.
Yep.
So now he's gonna be back under her thumb again. And now that studio is gonna turn into just like them apartments, a place where they're gonna just be running drug money through. So he's gonna now lose interest in that. And so that's gonna push him further and further away too.
Right. And the studio is his happy place. Like that's where he goes to get away from all that bullshit.
Yep. We see Jukebox has caught a bus back down to Harlem to keep an eye on her mom. She's following her mom. And so at first I thought, because when they kept panning to LaToya Luckett, or Kenya is her name, when they kept panning to her, I thought she was just going to turn around and acknowledge her, because
it
almost felt like she knew that someone was following her.
Yeah.
They shot that scene very well, because in my mind I was thinking that she was going to turn around and they were going to have their moment of reconciliation there. But how does she get control? I thought Crown had minority control. He does, however, but if Rock gets any part of that business, she gonna do what she want to do.
It's Rock. Like
with or without lose consent, with or without lose permission. If she gets any portion of ownership to that studio, she gonna treat it just like it's hers, and she gonna have all kind of troubles running in and out that studio. Eventually, what she's going to end up doing is she's going to push Lulu out of the business. And that's probably how Crown's going to end up getting it back.
Nah, Crown going to be dead.
Y'all think so?
Lulu going to kill him.
So we see, Lulu probably is going to end up killing him. Yep. That's going to be, that's probably what's going to end up happening. So we see that Marvin and Lulu and Rock, they all approach Warrell. Apparently, Warrell has gotten a call from Unique for a meetup. And
I do find it curious that after his life got threatened, he found Unique. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And he was right where he left him at. He was
but I don't think he was there the whole time, because I'm sure everybody went there looking for him because that was his spot. Like,
that's true.
I don't think he was there the whole time. He was probably at his mother-in-law house. No, they would have known where she lived too. I don't know where he was, but
that's true. I didn't think about it like that. So he probably showed up there for that.
Because remember, the money wasn't there. He was there, but the money wasn't there.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so listen, they were suspicious just like we are. It was like, well, how come he called you, and how come you know exactly how to find him now all of a sudden? So like, you go in first. Mm-hmm. So Marvin pulled a gat on him, and they hold the gun on him and whatever, and they make him go in. And of course, he's got a gun to Julia's head or whatever. Julia, poor thing, she's so scared. They start having a conversation, and he pretty much told Rock and all of them, listen, I'm done for. He's like, I can't even open a lemonade stand without them trying to put me back in. He's like, my work is gone. I have no workers. I have no business. Like, I just want a truce. I want peace. Leave me alone. Y'all go about y'all business. I'm going to go about my business. But he's like, basically, I want to stay here. I want to stay here on the South Side. This is all I know. Because they basically were telling him to get out of town. But he was like, I don't want to leave town. This is where I want to stay. And like, y'all leave me alone, I'll leave y'all alone, because as you can see, I still can touch you, but I'm not gonna fuck with you, or I'm not gonna bother you. I want to live in peace. I want my family to live in peace. Y'all leave me alone. Do y'all feel like that was a sincere request?
I think in the moment it was. I think he means it right now, but that's gonna get old real quick. Because again, what options does he really have? I think right now he means it, but I don't think he's gonna really mean it.
AKA Shakespeare. He was kind of flirting with Rock. And I was like, Rock, you gonna leave Symphony for this? This dude ain't nowhere near your speed. She seemed like she was disinterested, but at the same time, she kind of seemed like she was kind of flattered. So I hope they don't become a couple because.
But she already knows who he is, though. Remember, she was like, "I know who you are."
She's like, "I know." So you think he in drugs too?
Yeah.
They said he was a drug dealer.
Oh, okay. I missed that. Yeah, I knew he was. I figured he was in some type of criminal organization.
Yeah, they said he was a drug dealer because they said that. Because remember, they said that
I hope not. I don't.
That he figured out a way to wash his money through music.
That import-export business and through music, yeah.
Fake ass Suge Knight.
That's exactly what he is, Suge Knight. Right. I hope that's not her new love interest.
I hope not too, because that's not a good look.
Yeah. And I don't think it's even going to be a triangle. I think Symphony is done for. We could tell in that one episode, that one scene that we seen him in, that he wasn't feeling Rock no more, and he kind of have suspicions. He don't know. It's like he said, I don't know exactly what all Kanan was involved in that night, but I know it wasn't good. And so I think Symphony's done with her. I don't think we're going to see any more of them, which that's kind of sad. But because Symphony actually brought her balance, and so she don't have no one in her life.
She was actually happy when she spent time with him. She was happy.
That's why I say he brought her balance, and we don't see no one else, not even Kanan, not even her relationship with Kanan, brings her that balance. That now she's just full grind, dirt in the streets, running a criminal organization. That's it. There's no softer side to her anymore. It's all business all the time. So I think that's going to further allow her character to spiral out of control because she don't have nobody in her life that's bringing her balance. Jukebox follows her mom to the church, and they're at choir practice. And of course, we see that her mother can sing, and her mother is leading the choir rehearsal or whatever. And Jukebox is standing there in the doorway, and the mother just happens to turn around and see her and instantly recognizes her. So that tells me right there that her mama probably have been keeping tabs on her just from afar, because she recognized her child instantly and ran after her.
That was instant recognition.
Instant recognition. There was no, I think I know this person. She knew exactly who that was. Unique and Warrell could be working together, Miss Honey. I don't think Juliana is involved. I think Juliana is.
Yeah, I don't think Juliana's involved.
Yeah, I think they could be working an angle. It's like I said back in the first episode. I think Warrell's going to be the eyes on the inside, learn the organization and break it down piece by piece, and then that's going to give them an opportunity to take over. So I think in next week's episode, I think we're definitely going to either Jukebox's mom is going to come to her, because I don't see Jukebox going back since she ran away. So I think now that she's recognized her, I think that Kenya is now going to go seek out Jukebox.
Yep, I think I can see that.
Well, not only that, but again, I think she knows exactly what Jukebox is. She knows how to find Jukebox. But I'm telling you, I think that whatever went down, Rock paid her to leave town, and Rock probably threatened her life and was like, "And if you ever come back, I'll kill you."
And she probably came back, but been laying low.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I just don't trust Rock. I don't trust it. I just don't.
I think we're about to get the answer next week.
Yeah, we're gonna get the answer next week. I think we're gonna get the answer next week, and I think we're gonna get some more information about Rock next week too, because the scene ends with Detective Howard walking up on Kanan yet again, re-emphasizing, "I am your father. I do know that you shot me. I gave up my life. Well, I put my life at risk for you. I took that bullet for you. I'm not going to tell nobody about what happened or whatever. I just want to be a part of your life. What's going to happen?" Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what the line was when he said because that's what a father would do for his son.
That's what a father would do for a son.
And you could see the look on Kanan's face, like
he telling the truth.
Yeah, like he's starting to believe him.
Yeah, he's starting to believe him. I think we're going to see the same thing with Kanan that we've seen with Jukebox. Kanan is now going to be invested in finding out the truth on his own. He know that he's not going to be able to get it from his mama. So I think Kanan's going to end up going over there to that man's house, spending time with him, and we're going to learn. He's going to learn more about his mama through Detective.
Yeah, you don't have to. I think we're going to find out what happened through Detective Burke telling Kanan, like the whole story about her and because remember we saw in the trailer where Kanan goes to visit somebody in jail, and I think that's DEFCON. But I think he goes to see DEFCON after he talks to Detective Howard, and Detective Howard tells him some stuff.
Well, he already said, he said you always thought that DEFCON was your father, but he's not.
Right. So I think Kanan goes to visit DEFCON.
I think he does.
Or I think either Detective Howard arranges for him to go see him.
Maybe that too.
Because how else would he know where he is? For some reason, I don't think that is DEFCON. I could be wrong. I always felt
if
like
it ain't DEFCON, if it's not DEFCON, that's D-Wiz's brother.
He's somebody. He may be someone related to DEFCON. I could be wrong. I haven't went back on. Maybe we need to ask Fresh since he's on season 1 right now. I do know that they said High Post did get killed. I do remember them saying that High Post got killed, but for some reason I always thought that they said that DEFCON had got killed too. So
nope.
But either way, he's going to get answers from that person that he goes see in jail. I agree with you on that. Really, I agree wholeheartedly that whoever that is he goes to see in jail, going to be answers. And I think we're going to get answers with Jukebox and her mom next episode. And I think that Detective Howard and Kanan are going to start building a relationship. And Rock is not going to know about it. Kanan's going to continue to pretend that he believes his mom. But in reality, he's going to be spending time with that man and finding out more and more about his family, about his mama. And that's going to just push him further away as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, overall, a good episode. I really enjoyed it.
I thought it was a really good episode.
Any predictions for next week? What y'all think is going to happen?
Well, we made a couple of them already.
We made a couple of them. Yeah.
I think Juke is going to have a conversation with her mom, or at least there'll be another scene with the two of them. I think Kanan wants more information about his dad. Not sure where we go from here with Rock Unique and this whole. I'm not sure, but we did see in the previews for next week that the Italians come and make a visit.
That's got to do with that Jersey thing, I think. I don't think that's necessarily problems for her in New York. I think her problems are going to be in New Jersey.
Yep.
I can see that. I can see that.
That's where her problems are going to be because you expanded into a territory you ain't got no business in right now.
You don't know nobody over there.
Behind Warrail, which I also think that's part of the plot. And so I think her problems with the Italians is going to come from that attempt to expand in New Jersey.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
And what's going to end up happening is she's going to end up giving Jersey to Warrail. And Warrail, that's how Warrail is going to get his foot in the door and take over her organization.
Well, she already gave Jersey to that other dude.
Oh, that's right. That was yeah, she did. But didn't she say that Warrail was the one who brought her this spot in Jersey?
Was it? Maybe it was. I don't know.
No, she did give it to that other guy that was there with her. But remember, because Marvin had an issue with it, so now you're taking advice from Warrail. So
maybe.
So he's behind it. So it just shoots my antenna up that there's some nefarious motives involved. But all right, good episode. I can't wait till next week and see what we're going to find out next week. And I think the story is going to start heating up. We'll be on episode 4, so we know when we get to episode 5, we get action packed. So hopefully we start getting to see a little bit more meat and potatoes, episode 4 and 5. But like I said, I think it was a pretty good episode.
Yep.
I can agree.
I agree.
All right, fam. Well, I guess we are out. We will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Deuces.